But for oil, it's not independent. The MDs, whatever gets appointed by the government, so they sort of are not able to assert themselves properly. And the nitrogen oil crisis, which you might be familiar with, involving civil and social unrest, kidnapping, illegal oil bunkering and killings, and generally it's just the oil produced area of Nigeria. So I think this nitrogen, when the nitrogen delta crisis was at its peak, Nigeria was actually producing 50% of its revenue. It dropped from 2 million a day to 1 million. So you can see how much we lost from that. So what I've suggested ways of improving economic benefits from oil revenue. First, suggestion, deregulate the downstream sector of the Nigerian oil industry, allow for free flow of demand and supply, and market forces. Hence, government will not fund subsidies with the oil revenues. Secondly, encourage participation of the IOCs and indigenous companies in upward vertical integration in the oil and gas value chain. So encourage all the independent oil and international oil companies to sort of help us out in finding the oil, going into some agreements that will benefit them and also ultimately benefit the country, so that at least we can have the infrastructure for refining oil. Then thirdly, utilize independent auditors and international consultants for major contracts monitoring and control. Because usually projects, when they start off, there's a good intention, but then along the line somebody gets compromised. The project either gets stalled, or never get completed, or get completed beyond schedule, or with poor quality, on schedule. There's just always a. So I think we need to sort of monitor, because if the country that's going through development needs to implement projects for it to move to the next level. So I think this area is very critical. Number 4, aggressively pursue the development of infrastructure in the country to reduce the high cost of living and production. So this will help the nation as a whole if we're able to, sort of get infrastructure, the roads and things and support work. So another issue which I think will help is reduce and address dependence on imported goods and services by promoting development of local production via manpower development, increased tariff on imported goods, tax incentives, and holidays and tax holidays for local producers. So encourage local production. Look at every area where Nigeria is importing items. And the former government of Nigeria, which the dispensation that ended in 2007, I'm not sure, was very good with that. He started out in 1998 and did 8 years of Obasanjo, and he helped us to have a lot of problems. You can imagine the little things like fruit juices were important. And that was horrible. We're importing toothpick. That's criminal. So he went ahead and he said, no, producers of fruit juice, just produce it. I don't care how you do it. And we did it, and we sort of we had some gains from that. So I think that will help us develop the gas reserves in Nigeria, particularly towards the local gas market, for the use of power plants for electricity generation and LPG. LPG being the cooking gas we can use. If the country is able to achieve uninterrupted power supply, the cost of living and production of goods has to be greatly reduced. The immediate impact is improvement in living standards and reduction of government spending, amongst others. So that will be useful, and I think summarily I would say that, and government needs to also increase its anti-corruption efforts in Nigeria. There are already a few bodies like the ICPC, Independent Corrupt Practices Act, or Commission, the Federal Corrupt Practices Commission that have been developed, the EFCC, which is the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, that are sort of working towards discouraging acts of, corruption, showcasing corrupt acts, charging people to court, getting people to return stolen money, putting them in prison, things like that. I think rather than using those kind of commissions as vehicles for political political wins, government should use it really as independent bodies for sort of controlling corruption. You probably can eliminate corruption in a country like Nigeria as long as there's that huge delta or difference between the poor and the rich. There'll always be that struggle for people to come up with economic curves. So there will be a lot of, there will just always be that problem until we solve the poverty problem. But in the interim, at least discourage public office holders from being greedy or too greedy, stealing all of this or stealing government money. So